to give subtlety to the simple, to give them the wisdom, because wisdom makes you what? Makes you like a serpent. Because the Hebrew word for serpent, or should I say the Hebrew word for learning, is lamad, and lamad, the la, is in the shape of a coiled serpent. Because one of the highest forms of wisdom is to become like a serpent or a dragon. All right. So it says to give subtlety to the simple.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion. Which leads us to our next word, knowledge. So we're going to go to the Blue Letter Bible. We're going to go back here to the beginning of it. That's Proverbs, the 1st chapter. Search and the 4th verse. Alright. So here's to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge. Now here they have the word, I'm going to have Elder read it.
Da'ith.
Da'ith. This is a form of the word knowledge. But the real word for the word knowledge, see, like here they have knowledge, perception, skill, discernment, understanding, and wisdom. But then when you scroll down to the Jacinius Lexicon Help, and you look on here, they have the da'ith. Then it says used of a feminine, used of a noun from the verb
Yadai.
Yadai, which this is the actual word. Yadai is the actual word for knowledge. Okay, Yadai. But in this particular scripture, they put da'ith. Okay, so this is a variation of the word Yadai. So this is the actual word for knowledge, Yadai. All right. Now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to jump. Matter of fact, read that again in Proverbs, the 1st chapter.
Okay.
Matter of fact, read that again in Proverbs, the 1st chapter.
Okay. Proverbs 1, verse 4. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion.
Right, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Because the scriptures speak about somebody being a reprobate. And the word reprobate means to be void of judgment. So through the scriptures, the scriptures open up your understanding through the knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures to be able to conduct yourself, basically. Alright, so now let's go from there to our 4th word, which will be the next word in the Hebrew. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, the 4th chapter, and most of the words we're using today are all in the 4th. I mean, in the book of Proverbs. All right. So Proverbs, the 4th chapter, and the 2nd verse.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. Now, right here it says, for I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. So now we're going to scroll down to the word doctrine. All right. Now the word doctrine is what?
Laquak.
Right. Laquak. Laquak. All right. Laquak, which means
learning, teaching, insight, instruction, objective, teaching, thing taught, teaching, power, persuasiveness.
Right. So persuasiveness, why? Because go to the book of Philippians, the 1st chapter and the 7th verse, and we're going to jump down from the 7th verse down to about the 17th verse. See, this is the key right here: teaching power and persuasiveness. That's why Paul said that the kingdom of the Most High is not in word but in power. So in other words, it ain't just something that you speak or something that you just say. It's the action behind it. That's the power. So that's why Paul said, look, if you don't talk me to death in so many words. Show me what you're made of. Execute what the scriptures tell you to execute. Don't just talk the good game, or don't just talk the talk. Walk the walk. That's why he said, I would not know the speech of him that's puffed up, but the power thereof. Why? Because you have to put these things into effect. Now there were certain times when Yahushua told the disciples, said, look, go you into such and such a place and get this. You'll see a ass tied, the ass's coat tied to the what you call it. Bring it to me, and if the guy asks you, tell him, look, the Lord have need of it. And then why did he do that? That the scripture might be fulfilled.
Right.
That's what he said. He made it happen. He didn't just wait for it to happen. He didn't just happen to be walking out. You know what? The Lord said that I'm going to be riding into Jerusalem on an ass's coat, humble. Right. So maybe the Lord will make a ass coat walk by while I'm walking towards Jerusalem. He made it happen. He took the word of the Most High and put it into action. Brought out the power. That's why Paul said, I will not know the speech of him that's puffed up, but the power thereof. And through that power, you have persuasiveness. Because that's part of this thing. We're learning this word to be persuasive, to convince the gainsayers. We're going to read. You got something, brother?
Can I bring something up?
Yeah,
brother?
bring it out.
This is the book of St. James, chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only. What? Deceiving your own selves. Deceiving your own selves. You got these guys online, you know, wherever it be, on YouTube or wherever, and they just make videos, right? And they think that just by making the videos that's it. You got these guys that supposed to know the scriptures, and all they do is sit at home making videos on YouTube, you know, like just sitting there and they'll spew their bullshit. They might have a couple of guys with them. I'll give you some examples. False Prophet 666. You got this other clown, Edomite Slayer, or Edomite Snot Rag, or whatever the hell his name is. You know, they're making these videos. Another nigga, Tip-Top Fly, that little clown. You know, you got these niggas making these videos, but they're not going out doing what the Lord said to do, which is go out on the highways and the byways. You're supposed to go out there and make this thing happen, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So go ahead, brother. So you wanted Philippians 1, chapter 1, verse...
chapter 1, verse 7, but go back to that in James.
Oh, you want me to read that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good scripture.
Alright, James 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Deceiving your own selves. False Prophet 666, deceiving your own self. Tip-Top Fly, deceiving your own self. Edomite Rugrat, deceiving your own selves. All these clowns that supposed to be making videos and supposed to be out in the streets teaching the word, and they're not doing that. Deceiving their own selves. Go ahead. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer. If any be a hearer of the... What did Yahweh say? If you love me, keep my commandments. One of the commandments is to go out in the highways and the byways. Right. Didn't we read last week that a precept is a commandment? Yep. From the word Tazawar, commandment. So the precept said go out into the highways and the byways and teach. Don't just be sitting in your damn house, in your comfortable little house. Go ahead. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Right, he is like a man beholding his natural face in a glass, because he'll see, oh yeah, I'm an Israelite. The Lord is coming. This, you know, this, that, and the other. But they're not doing what the Lord say. Right. Go ahead. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way. Right, because he know, yeah, I'm an Israelite, but then he goes his way, like it says in Ezekiel. He said they'll hear your words, but they will not do them. Right. Go ahead. And straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Right, and that's another thing too. You got these guys that they do these. Some guys are supposed to be, you know, they're supposed to be Israelites. They go, they make these videos. Then when they leave, that Israelite thing is like a part-time job for them. That's that scripture being lukewarm. Go ahead. Okay. Is that it on that? Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. So now let's go to Philippians 1 and 2. 1 and 7. 1 and 7. Slacking. The book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 7. Even as it is meet for me to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart, and as much as both in my bonds and in the defense and confirmation of the gospel. The defense and confirmation of the gospel. Because through the defense and confirmation of the gospel, you do what? You have the teaching power, and you have the persuasiveness. Right. Now hold that real quick and go to the book of Jude, the 1st chapter and the 3rd verse. As a matter of fact, you can start at the 1st verse. Jude, chapter 1, verse. Start at the 1st verse. The point is in verse 3. Verse 1. Jude, verse 1. Jude, the servant of Yahushai and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by the Most High, the Father, and preserved in Yahushai and called. Mm-hmm.
Mercy unto you, and peace and love be multiplied.